So today we're going to actually start writing linear equations. Again, that linear equation is going to be in the form y equals mx plus b, where m equals the slope, y is the y-intercept. So sometimes it's super easy. They're going to literally tell you, here's the slope, here's the y-intercept. Y equals the slope is 5x plus the y-intercept is 7. It is important to note that each time, x and y are going to still be in your answers. That's how you know what to plug in to get an answer back out. Okay? Now, of course, sometimes they'll be a little bit more interesting. Write an equation. Actually, we're going to skip that one. Write an equation if the slope is 0.5 and it passes through 2, 3. There are two ways you can do this. Here's method 1. I call this the 3-step method. Step 1 is to ask yourself, what is the slope? The slope is 0.5. So you'll see me shorthand this as m equals 0.5. Step 2, what is... Actually, hang on, let me do this over here. So step 2, what is the y-intercept? And the way you'll see me shorthand this is by doing 2. Not the y, the b. And I don't know what it equals this time, but I do know that they gave me a point. So what I can do is take an equation, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to do this up to the side. And I'm going to try plugging in this point. It is a working example, or a working point, to use an example for this function apparently. The y is 3, the m is 0.5, and the x is 2. Now solve for b. 0.5 times 2 is 1. And it looks like to get rid of that 1, I'm going to need to subtract 1. And now b equals 2. So now finally for step 3, my question is going to be, what is my equation? And you're just going to see me shorthand that by putting y equals. Notice in the final equation, just like I did up here, x and y are still going to be in my answer. So y equals, my slope is 0.5, x plus 2. That is my answer. Keep that x and y. I cannot stress that enough because I see lots of people make this mistake all the time. Keep the x and y in your final answer. Now there is actually a second way you can do this. You still have to know your slope in order to use method 2, but you can use what we call the point slope formula. That's this thing over here. Notice for x and y, I'm going to leave x and y, but for x1 and y1, I'm going to actually get to plug in that same point they gave me. So check it out. That'll be y minus, the point they gave me was 3, equals m is still slope, so 0.5, times x, minus x1, which we know to be 2. Okay, x1, y1 is going to be from the point they gave us again. Now just solve for y. Oh, you know what? I covered up, there's supposed to be a parenthesis right here. So what I'll do is I'll distribute my slope. So 0.5x minus, that's going to be a 1. Now to get y by itself, I'm going to add 3. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Notice I ended up with the exact same answer. Whichever method you prefer, you can do. I'm not going to tell you which one to do. You decide which one you like, learn it, do it super awesomely well, and that's good enough for me. Now, sometimes we're going to have to do a lot of work. Like here. Notice, did it tell me the slope? No. You have to find the slope before we can do anything else. So again, I like to write these vertically because it makes things easy to see. And so I circle there. Negative 4 minus a negative 9 becomes a double negative. And then I want to do 2 minus 4. So I get a negative 5 over 2 is my slope. Now, using whichever point you like, whichever equation you like, you can actually write an equation. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause the video, work at the method you prefer, and here in a couple seconds I will write the answer up for you. All right, and again, it doesn't matter which point you use or which method you used, your answer is y equals negative 5/2 x plus 1. All right, check out that Delta Math. We'll finish 2 for tomorrow. Thanks, folks.